Hey, it's Master Coach G here, thriving after 50, mind, body, soul. And in this episode, I am talking about the importance of understanding the mind-body connection and when it comes to improving our mindset daily. See, the mind-body connection definitely refers to the relationship between our mental process and our physical health. Yes, it absolutely is a connection there. And we need to understand that because this show is really about mind, body, soul. So we do have to focus on how our mindset affects our body, with emphasis on our thoughts, our feeling, our attitude, and how that directly affects our physical well-being. Because trust me, our thoughts, feelings, and attitude definitely affects our well-being. But we also need to understand why it's important for us to be mindful of the connection. This is Master Coach G, and I will see you on the inside. Hey fam, it's Master Coach G here, thriving after 50, mind, body, soul. And in this episode, I am talking about why it's important for us to have an understanding of the mind-body connection when it comes to improving our mindset daily. See, the thing about the mind-body connection is it affects our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our attitude, and that's the reason why it is so important for us to really get an understanding of that. Because in order for us to improve our mindset daily, it takes intentional practice. And we have to remember that practice makes progress. Absolutely. Because it gives us an opportunity to nurture positivity, resilience, and self-awareness. And self-awareness is actually the main key to improving our mindset on a daily basis. Now, being mindful of the mind-body connection is essential for several reasons, okay? Number one is holistic health, okay? Understanding that the mental and the physical are interconnected and can lead to a more holistic approach to well-being. So when we understand that our mind and body is connected, it gives us an opportunity to be able to do things different. It gives us a chance to be able to move around, to make adjustments, and to just have a better process, okay? This awareness encourages a balance that cares for all aspects of our lives, okay? Both mind and body. Another reason why it's important is because of stress management. The mindful practices can help us to reduce stress and anxiety, okay? So when we're mindful, it gives us an opportunity to be able to practice how we can reduce the stress and anxiety, which turns can alter our physical symptoms, like tension or pain. Sometimes stress can bring on headaches. If you have any underlying conditions like high blood pressure, it can definitely elevate your blood pressure. Stress can do that. So that's the reason why it's important for us to be able to be mindful and practice reducing the stress and the anxiety, because that mind-body connection, so you see how you being stressed can elevate your blood pressure, or you can have a headache, a major headache. Some people even have migraines behind stress. So that's the reason why the mind-body connection is so important, because we have to recognize how our thoughts affect our physical situation and can lead to, it should teach us how to have better stress management techniques. We need to learn stress management techniques so that way we can reduce the risk of the stress. And our thoughts, our attitude play a major part in that as well, okay? It helps us to be able to improve mental clarity, okay? A strong mind-body connection can enhance our focus and clarity. Okay, that is major. Okay, practicing mindfulness can improve our concentration, our cognitive function. It just makes things easier to be able to navigate through daily challenges. And that's the reason why it's important to have mental clarity, because it gives us the opportunity to be able to focus more clearly, and we can concentrate more and have better cognitive function. And it just makes it easy for us to be able to, when the challenge does come up, it just makes it easier for us to be able to deal with the challenges. Another important fact here is emotional regulation. Okay, so when we talk about mindset, we cannot neglect to talk about our emotions, because being mindful of our emotional regulations help us recognize to better manage our emotions. Sometimes we may be like at a 3, and then things start to snowball, and next thing you know, your emotions are totally out of control. But when you are mindful, and see, that's the reason why the mindset is so important, because when we can regulate our mindset, it helps us to regulate our emotions as well. Now, this awareness can lead to a healthier response with emotional triggers. We all have triggers. Every one of us do. But reducing the negative reaction can also better help us with our physical reaction. Okay, because the emotional trigger can also trigger something in our physical being as well. So being mindful helps us to recognize and manage our emotions. That's the reason why the awareness can lead to a healthier response when it comes to our emotional triggers. And again, we all have emotional triggers. We all have to be mindful of what those triggers are, so that way we can better manage them. Because if we don't, we are putting ourselves at risk for a physical reaction. Okay. The next thing is being mindful of the mind-body connection is it can enhance our physical performance. Okay, especially for those people that are athletes or active individuals like myself that go to the gym or exercise or walk or whatever physical activity you do. I always say that my gym is like going to the gym is therapy for me. It gives me an opportunity to be able to release the stress. It helps me to better manage my stress levels. So physical activity can definitely enhance your mind-body connection. Okay, it will improve your performance all the way around, whether it's your attitude, whether it's your thought process, whether it's your emotional challenges. Physical activity will definitely enhance your performance in all those areas. The mental focus and different techniques can help you to enhance your physical outcomes. So that is another important key right there. And again, it's mind, body, soul. And, this is also touching on one of the pillars that the principles that I always talk about, the physical activity. And I think that when we understand that, how the mind and body has that connection, it helps us to be able to take better care of our bodies, because we are taking care of our mindset. So our mindset is directly connected to our physical bodies. So yes, I can't stress enough how there is a mind-body connection. Okay. It also gives us a chance to better recover from injuries. Okay. Because let's say, you'll hear people say, oh, she overcame that, or he overcame that. Oh, he has a strong will, or he has a strong mind. Well, yeah, it does help, because your mindset is positive. So you are definitely, you can better recover from illnesses or injuries with a mindful approach to facilitating healing. It absolutely does facilitate healing. The mindset, whether it's an injury or illness, if you have a mindful approach to that, you can definitely heal in a different way versus, okay, let's use this as an example. If you have a negative attitude about anything or everything, then more than likely you probably won't heal as fast or recover as fast from an injury or illness as a person who has a positive mindset. I mean, it's just been proven. And you may even know someone that have gone through an injury or an illness. For instance, I had an injury. I injured myself back in August of 2024. And at first, my attitude, my whole mindset to that, number one, I couldn't go to the gym. And that was like oh my God, I thought I was going to lose my mind because, I have such a strict regimen. I have such a strict routine on going to the gym. And when I could not go to the gym, it affected my mindset. But what I noticed was the more I stressed out about not going to the gym, I also noticed how it affected my injury. So what I had to do was I had to center myself, come back to myself, and realize this is an injury that's going to take time to heal, and that I will not be able to get back in the gym until I am completely healed. So I had to work on my mindset in order for my healing so that I would recover better. Okay. And so it was just what it was. And I'm speaking from personal experience. And so I know that the first 3 to 4 weeks was, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I can't go to the gym. And that I just kept playing that same record over and over and over and over and over and over again in my head, to the point where the more I kept telling myself that, the worse my pain was. So when I shifted my mindset on, it's going to take time to recover, do what you need to do to recover, this is okay to recover, I had to keep telling myself and feeding myself positive thoughts, and feelings and emotions, so that way I would go through the healing process better. Okay. And that was a challenge. And yes, it is a challenge. I'm not saying it's not going to come without a challenge, but once I got that, the healing process went a lot better, because honestly, I didn't have any clarity on what it was that I needed to do in reference to the healing process. I mean, I went to an orthopedic surgeon. I went to the doctor. They wanted to give me, all kinds of injections. I had an MRI. I had sonograms. I had ultrasounds. I had x-rays. I had all those things, and it became frustrating because of my mindset. So once I shifted my mindset and had a positive mental state, which was actually connected to my healing process, at that point, I was able to recover. So it does have a great effect on your recovery stage when you're talking about healing from an injury or an illness. Another thing is to have greater self-awareness, okay? Because mindfulness fosters self-awareness, and it allows us to recognize how our thoughts, our emotions, and our attitude affect our bodies. Okay? When we have that awareness and that mindfulness, we have a better chance on recognizing how our thoughts, emotions, and our attitude is having an impact on our bodies. Okay? And yes, because I couldn't go to the gym, and being in a state of being agitated and irritated and upset and mad because I couldn't go to the gym, it affected my body to the point where I actually ended up losing about 12 pounds from not going to the gym. Now, I know that sounds crazy. Most people that don't go to the gym gain weight. For me, because of my attitude, but you see how the mindset can affect your body. Now for some people, depending on your mindset. Now, when I was 237 pounds, it wasn't because I was overeating. It was a mindset thing. So I gained weight, but you can also lose weight because of the stress and all that stuff. So yes, we have to have a greater awareness and a mindfulness to self-awareness when it comes to recognizing how our thoughts, emotions, and our attitude have a greater impact on our bodies. Because when we have that awareness, it can lead to a healthier lifestyle choice. Okay, so when I made up my mind that I was going to stop stressing about my injury and do what I needed to do in order to become healed, then that was a lifestyle choice. I made a choice to become better. Okay, so that's why it's important. Now, pain management, just talking about pain management, we have to be, if we can learn techniques to overcome the pain. Now, I'm the type of person, I don't believe in taking pharmaceutical drugs. I've never have my whole entire life. I wasn't raised around people. Old people raised me. You know, my grandparents were in their 80s and 90s when they were raising us, and I didn't see them taking a whole bunch of medication, so I didn't grow up with that. Every now and again, my grandfather would take like a goody powder or BC powder or something like that, but that was very, very seldom that I would see him do that, or my grandmother, because of arthritis pain. But pain management, learning mindful techniques on how to use the pain management therapies can help us cope with chronic pain. And when I tell you that what I had was chronic pain, I mean, I was at a pain level 12 for 3 months. Because again, I don't do pharmaceutical drugs, and I didn't want to take the steroid shots, and I don't want to take the cortisone shots. I didn't want to do any of that. So my pain level was at a 12, and it was very, very difficult to endure. So I had to learn techniques that would help me to better manage my pain. Because, you know, sometimes we do have pain management, but it was a mindset thing. It all goes back to the mind-body connection. So that's why I need you to understand and see why it's so important to be aware of the mind-body connection. And here's another thing about the mind-body connection is it can improve our relationships. You know, being mindful of our own feelings and our physical state can enhance our interpersonal relationships. You know, because it gives us an opportunity to foster empathy and understanding toward others, you know. So I went through having my piriformis muscle pressing up against my sciatic nerve, you know, and at that point I was just in so much pain, excuse me, so much pain that it was hard for me to even focus on anything else. So having empathy at that point in time, and wasn't even happening, you know. But now that I understand the pain, the chronic pain that I had, my daughter is actually experiencing the same injury. So it is really helping my relationship with her because I understand what she's going through. So I can have the empathy and understand what she's going through. So that's why it's important, and that's why it helps you to improve your relationships. That mind-body connection help you improve your relationship with others because it gives you an opportunity to foster the empathy and understanding. Okay. And here's really one important factor that I think is key, is, you know, when we're faced with life situations, and life is lifing, it gives us satisfaction. Ultimately, a strong mind-body connection can lead to greater life satisfactions as we become more in tune with ourselves and others, and our needs as well as other people's needs. So there's a satisfaction that comes along with that when we understand the mind-body connection, because it just leads to being able to have the empathy and to be able to treat people differently when we're in tune to ourselves as well as other people's needs. And we definitely have to be in tune with our own needs as well as other people. So it's really a key factor. So by cultivating mindfulness in our daily lives, we can harness powerful interplay between our minds and our bodies, which leads to improved overall health and well-being. It actually has a major value, if you will, for us to understand the mind-body connection. And it also helps us to become more holistically aware of what we need to do in order to improve our mindset on a daily basis. Hey, that's what I have for you today. I hope this episode has added value to your life. If it has, please share it with someone that may also benefit from this information. And I need you to subscribe to my channel so that every time I drop a new episode that you will be the first to be notified. But before I get out of here, as always, I want to say thank you to my listeners around the world, here in the United States, Canada, Australia, Russia Federation, China, Mexico, Belgium, Ireland, South Africa, Brazil, Nigeria, United Kingdom, Germany, France, Bangladesh, Kuwait, India, Hong Kong, Dominican Republic, Philippines, Barbados, Saudi Arabia, and we just added Spain and Japan. Thank you all so much for listening. I appreciate every one of you from every country. I think we reached 25 countries now. Thank you for joining me here on Mind, Body, Soul, Thriving After 50. I appreciate you all so much. And this is Master Coach G, and I will see you on the next level.